So, yesterday was a little bit interesting on Wednesday, the 4th, right? What's today's date? Yep, 4th. So,
10-4.
um, apparently we had, and it wasn't at 2:30. It was a little bit before then. So, again, we're really on top of our shit. They had I don't know who specifically. I guess our government or the
FEMA
news or
and,
something.
yeah.
We're having a national test for alarms because you know how great our alarm systems work in Maui and in New Jersey and Palestine, Ohio. It's crazy. Alarms didn't go off, but especially with the flooding in New Jersey that no one really seems to care about. And those alarm systems don't go off. That was the final straw that we have to do a national test just in case if anything tragic were to happen. Um, and I don't know where you were when this happened, but I was at work when this happened, and it just sounded like a regular Amber Alert alarm. I thought it was going to be something, I don't know, special, crazy. I don't know. But
like the tactical nuke fucking horn when it's right. Just a little different.
Something.
A scarier.
It's just a generic,
ominous sound.
Something. I thought it would have been, how
just.
Well, you remember back in when they were doing nuke drills or something back in the 60s and 50s or 70s, around that era.
The air raid siren.
They had a different.
Scary.
But I was thinking it was going to be something to that effect, but no.
The way it was blowing up, you'd think it would be.
People's reactions are just like either clueless or I didn't really even know about it until like the day before, until my mom brought it up. She brought it up to me that, you should make sure you have your phone off. I'm like, why? No, they're doing this, and I just scoff at them, just like,
put it in the microwave. I heard put it in the freezer. I heard dump it in the toilet.
Yeah,
or turn it off. Don't have it around you.
So then I'm like, and then when I read somewhere that they were gonna do that, I was just like, okay, and then and then they give the explanation out, and I'm like, it seems to be ironic after the Maui and New Jersey situation that now all of a sudden we want to test for, to make sure our alarm systems are working, and then of course my brain starts to wander, and then I start thinking of different possibilities, and then the conspiracies come out. And I only heard one conspiracy, so I'm sure you have plenty.
Heard a couple.
The one that I heard was that this was their way to, which is funny because I'm sure you'll remember the name, the movie that we saw with the phones. Cell.
John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. It was a Stephen King novel adaptation, movie adaptation.
Yeah. Because the conspiracy was that they were going to release mass 5G, and it was going to do kind of like what the cell.
Right. Anybody that they called it the pulse in that movie, but basically it's the frequency. Anybody that was in the movie, if anybody that was on their phone, the time that this signal went out, it turned them into just mindless that. Not zombies in the sense of eating people, but they just beat people to death. They went nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the thing. So I look at that, I go, okay. But then
it's good for a movie.
But then I'm like, here's what I'm thinking. Okay? So this is my own personal conspiracy.
All right.
I think it was a test for themselves, for the government, for themselves, because I have a feeling that they're going to use that for something that's going to happen. I believe that, and again, this is my own theory, I can be completely wrong, but 2024 is going to be a very big election. Very big, okay? Bigger than all the other ones. And I believe that they will stop at nothing to make sure because, look, Trump's going to be the Republican candidate. There's just no one else moves the
You
fucking
can't really,
needle.
yeah.
No one. DeSantis had a chance. He fucking blew it. There's no one that's got a chance. He's a
He's
nominee.
gonna be the guy. Yeah.
And if it's between him and Biden, Trump's gonna. I mean, come on. Biden has done nothing to make you go, oh, we got, you had your chance, whatever. So they're gonna stop at nothing to make sure, that he does not get in there. And I think it's gonna be a last resort. I'm telling you, they're gonna try the COVID thing again. They're gonna go through down that whole path.
They're already starting to try it.
Right, and they're going to do a whatever national emergency, a war, something to postpone that election. That's my theory on it.
I've heard things, and it has made me think of ideas along those lines of basically before the election is underway or very close to it, that will declare war with China, which they'll invoke whatever thing it was in the Constitution that now suspends, like you said, or postpones an election because it's wartime kind of things.
Didn't we have a president? Was it like could be fuzzy Roosevelt or something? There was somebody.
Probably.
We had a president. It could have been World War One or some war that they were able to stay longer than their term limit.
And that was the precedent for that,
Right.
for this situation. So that might be replaying again.
Yeah.
So I could see that along those lines. But when it comes to this emergency signal, I had heard things about it a week prior to the message being sent out. So there was a lot of stuff surrounding it. At first, of course, it was the governmental conspiracies. People were like, it's national, turn your phone off. So I was thinking that it was initially along the lines of a mental health and well-being thing. Like, you know what I mean? Just detach from your electronics for today.
Oh,
like if
God.
everybody, that's what I thought it was going to be. So I'm like, oh, let's watch this video. I'm sure this is probably, maybe I'll participate. Turn off your phone day. And, then it's going into, you need to turn off your phones because, the cell towers are going to send out a signal and, like Kingsman, everyone's phone, and we all go nuts and start killing each other. But to thicken that conspiracy, another version of that was along the same lines. But the only difference that they tweaked was that the only people that would be affected in this conspiracy theory were those that got the COVID vaccine. Something in the mRNA thing was going to activate once so only they would be crazy people, and
Right.
anyone that didn't take the shot that doesn't have their microchip wouldn't be affected. I'm like, okay, so now we already have two. Then there was one that Christ is coming back. It's going to be the rapture. This signal is going to be sent out, and people are going to receive messages in their minds to turn to God. And I'm like, all right, now I know it's bullshit. Now that we've gotten into this part, right?
Okay.
I know, right? I know, right?
Yeah.
The
Soon
first
as
two
we
are
talk about-
plausible.
yeah.
The first two are totally realistic. That last one's just out the window, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Because that would have been awesome. I would have been like, hey, dude, like, I was at the store. I will say this. I was at the store. I walked to Walmart when it happened. And I left my phone here still. There was still a part of me that was still a little creeped out because I was so uncertain. And the fact that they said that this was going to be going out at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, I heard 2:30.
2:20. It was supposed to last from 2:20, and it was supposed to be a minute long. But the entire test, and I did it in military time, is 1,420 hours to 1,450 hours. So from 2:20 to 2:50. But the alert is only for the minute. So what are the other 29 minutes for? That's where my brain started to be like, well, what if they do send a signal out? Right. That's creepy. Then I saw another video of someone saying, why should you be concerned? Of course, this didn't happen either. But why should you be concerned? And it was showing these scientists have figured out that these little nanobots, and they sent a signal to them, and they all started to link together, and it resembled somewhat of like neurons, almost like Neuralink.
Yeah.
People thought Elon Musk's Neuralink was going to take hold and send that's what the signal was, and that all of these electronics, like, so if I'm talking on my phone, they're going to branch out and go into my brain, and then, like, my circulatory system and neurological system are now one with the matrix or the system, whatever we want to call it for this purpose. So then I'm like, wow, even with this writer's strike going on, we got a lot of people making some good movie ideas here, but sadly, like we've discussed, these movies have already been done. I still left my phone at home. I walked to the store. People were talking about it at the store because I knew it was happening. Then when I got back, the message was on my phone. I hit OK. There was no other noise. And what was weird about that was then I go onto the internet. So let me see everybody's reactions. I know everyone's going to be blowing up about this now that it's minutes past. And I guess it went out at 2:08. It went out 2 minutes earlier. You know what I mean? So that was another weird thing. So anybody that maybe at the last second tried to avoid the signal, we got you kind of deal. So it makes a lot of somewhat believable scenarios, but there were so many variations of it that once we've gotten 4 or 5 different theories about why the signal is being sent out, my brain goes, it's like an Amber Alert. Like, this is nonsense. Everyone's going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen. But I did want to go out and about and be in public without my phone, just in case. But even that, how is that my rationale? Because it was going to go through radio waves, cell phone towers. Like, even in Kingsman, the signal affected everyone, whether they had the SIM card or not. I live in an area with all these power lines and cell towers and other people's phones. It wouldn't matter. If they sent a signal out, it wouldn't matter if my phone was in the microwave. It wouldn't matter if I turned it off. It wouldn't matter if I shoved it up my ass.
It could be like the cell.
It could have been, but the fact that I would have been surrounded by the noise regardless and surrounded by the signal, I feel like it would affect you.
I think you're just so doom and gloom, and you just want everything to fucking burn. I
was excited.
You want to be first in line to whatever happens. You want to be there. That's my vibe from you.
Frontline Freddy.
Yeah. So
But
listen.
I agree with your idea about it, though. Something with this test, it might be in preparation for something real that is going to be nationwide.
It could be,
if not worldwide.
It could be as simple as they got so much flack over the Maui thing, even though we don't talk about it anymore. And I think maybe the New Jersey flooding with that debacle, how that went down, that no one talks about, that I think that they just got so much, I wouldn't say public pressure, but they just had to resolve something and go, oh, well, we're going to make this nationwide system to, whatever, because apparently our own states can't, just another way to cover their ass. But again, it's just how I've seen our government react in the past 10 years, and just especially now recently, you just see how they're dropping the ball and how they acted with other natural disasters. That to me,
all these different crises.
Right. That to me, I'm just like, you're just setting up for something.
Yep.
That just is what it is. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope that it's just that they're just doing a nationwide test to make sure, if God forbid, an
alien invasion, perhaps.
We've
unloaded that. Yeah, we've already said that. So it could be a front for an alien invasion that's staged,
or a war, or something. That. But I have a feeling that something's coming.
Maybe it'll be the Purge.
I'm gonna be honest.
They're actually gonna set one up for real.
I'm surprised that we're not even entertaining that. I really am. You would think with all the rioting that they've done and the looting and all that especially in democratic cities and states, that they wouldn't even be proposing that idea.
Yeah.
I'm just to just have one day. I'm not condoning it,
Right.
and I'm not saying we should. I'm actually just very surprised that out of everything we talk about and discuss, whether it's real, conspiracy theories, fantasies, that's not even a thing. I'm very surprised, especially if you look at our society now, that's not what that lawmakers aren't like. I would think AOC would be first in line pushing for that idea.
Listen! It's purge time!
Yeah, that's that's just me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens if we have to get another alert like this, or like how it was earlier this year when there was some, I guess, random alert that went off early in the morning that scared the hell out of everybody, and I guess it was a total fluke. It was only supposed to be on TV, but it went through everyone's phones. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, but then that happened in the middle of the night, though.
Right, that's what
That was in the
early
middle of the
morning, middle of the
night.
night
It
kind of
woke
thing.
people
That's what I
up,
mean.
and people. Yeah, I think they
totally,
fired that guy that
yeah.
accidentally. No, I think they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So,
I don't know, man.
I
Again,
hope you're wrong as well, but
2023, and we can't. We 20. Let's just think about this. 2023, right? We have all of these electrical vehicles. We have AI, ChatGPT. I mean, the list goes on. But alarm systems, we can't get right.
no.
They,
We got to test them because we don't know how
It's
that
puzzling.
shit fucking
We
works.
can mold a vagina out of a penis, and we can put boobs on a dude. But when it comes to alarm systems, we
I'll
can
tell you
make.
what, the bell was always on time when I was in school. And I'll tell you what, this thing goes off every morning to wake me up. I've never had an issue with alarms or timers.
Just saying. It's just.
The only issue is, I meant to hit AM and I hit PM.
We have
Whoops.
self-driving semi-trucks where we have, but alarm systems? And again, even when we want to do a nationwide test, still can't get that right. 220, make it 218.
Right, yeah.
I mean, just basic shit, and we just can't do it. It's like
Close enough. Well, keep
something's-
your eyes open. Keep your ears open for the next alarm. Who knows when that'll be? Hopefully it's not real. I hope you're wrong, but in my experience, even when you're joking, you fucking nail it.
If only you listened to me more, your life would be a little bit smoother.
I'm starting to learn.
Yeah, about $2,000 later.
Take notes.